as we talk about that question, there is breaking news now coming in. This is what top sources are telling us. These are inside details that have come to us from the Home Minister's meeting that happened at the MHA at about 3 o'clock. The Home Minister, as we already know, has decided to hand over the investigation of the attack to the NIA. That is something that has already happened. But Mr. Shah has also instructed the Forensic Science Laboratory to match and investigate the sample specimens that have been collected from the blast spot and come up with details of the blast at the earliest. It has also been instructed to match the samples collected from the bodies in the car or body in the car that exploded. The NIA has been instructed to investigate and submit a report at the earliest. Priyank, you're joining us live on the broadcast with that set of information. Right now, the government of India slightly hesitant, I think, to call this a terror incident. They want to be 100% sure, which is why the FSL has been directed, Priyank, just correct me if I'm wrong, to fast-track proceedings. What will be the number one or number two things that will need to be fast-tracked before the government of India can actually step out and tell us whether this was a terror strike, whether this was something else?
Shreyati, if you remember, Home Minister Amit Shah in the Parliament had already mentioned during the Operation Mahadev that over the night their aircraft flew away from Srinagar and it landed in Chandigarh, where the ballistic report was taken out, which can establish that whether the guns were the same which were used in the Pahalgam terror attack. A similar kind of thing is also being done so that forensic samples can be collected from the family members of the accused who was allegedly involved in this particular terror attack, with the body which has been there at the mortuary of LNJP hospital. There are two bodies which are still unidentified for the police official, for which the DNA sample can actually match that whether it was of Umar, the terrorist, the Dr. Umar from Pulwama or not. So for this, the Forensic Science Laboratory Lab has been instructed to come up with the samples report as soon as possible. And that will be the nail into the coffin which can actually establish that this was an act of terror attack, because everything was destroyed, no sharpness were found from the location. So it is very important for the officials to establish this as a terror attack. That can only happen once the DNA sample matches with the deceased body of Dr. Umar.
We'll leave it there for the moment, Priyank. Thank you very much for joining us. Lieutenant General Syed Atta Hasnain is joining us.